and welcome to Kara's Book Talk. I am wearing my Star Wars shirt today because I am doing another sci-fi video. It's a little bit weird because generally I don't read a lot of sci-fi, and I've actually read 2 books this year, and it's only April. Weird. Weird to me. I don't really read this genre, but I'm loving the books I have read. So, in honor of today's video, I am doing Illuminae by Amy Kaufman, I think is how you say your name, and J. Kristoff. Anyways, can we just talk about this cover for a minute? I mean, look at it. It's beautiful. This cover definitely drew me in for the first time when I first saw it. And then, if you take off the book jacket, look at this. Look at this. This is crazy. And this book is basically just like this the entire time. Let me get a little closer. There's blacked out pages. There's words written everywhere. It's just definitely different than anything I've ever read before. And I loved it. I loved it so much. So if you I'll just kind of skim through the pages here with you. So this is what we've got here. You just have like so many different, like look how cool that is. So many different pages. So premise of this book. The year is 2075. 2025. 2575? What is it? 2575. I know what year the book is in. 2575, space travel is a thing, and they are on a planet called Carenza, is where we start off. And you have your main character, Katie Grant. Most of the book is through her perspective, I feel like, although you definitely have multiple different characters. It's not really perspective, like, it's hard to say because the book is literally in transcripts and files and video feeds. Like, people are watching video feeds and then they write what they see. So it's like a transcript of the video of what's happening. So it's just very interesting. A lot of the book follows Katie, and so that's why I'm saying it's in her perspective, even though it's interesting. And then you have the other character, who, in my opinion, is the second main character, is Ezra Mason, and they are both 17 years old. They live on this planet Carenza, and they are a mining planet. So they mine. I don't remember what they're mining. Literally, it starts off, and their planet is getting attacked. So that's where we start off. And so they have survived the attack, and so the transcripts that you start reading is them describing what the attack and how the attack happened. So it's, like I said, this book was so interesting and something so different from what I normally ever read that I found it so intriguing. It's kind of hard for me to describe just because it is not even really in like a normal first person or third person perspective. It's literally transcripts, and it's like Katie said this, and then the interviewer said this, and then Katie said this. So it's like it's definitely not normal dialogue. And at first I thought it would be a little bit hard to follow, but I had no problem at all. It sucks you in right away. Action packed from the very beginning. Seriously, this book is so fast paced. Like, you do not have a moment's rest throughout the entire book, I felt like. Like, the entire time, it was just, this thing's happening, now this is happening, now this is happening, now this is happening, oh crap, and now this is going on, and what is happening, and that ship is attacking, and that ship, and what is going on. So It's very interesting. I absolutely loved it. I read this book in a little over 2 days, which was incredibly fast, even for me. It's like 600 pages, a little over 600 pages, I think. But especially towards the end here, you get a lot of pages like this where you're reading these, but it doesn't take long to read that. So then you go like this, and the next page is like that. Same thing. And so then it's like you get some pages like this, where it's like, oh, just one page of reading. And so it was definitely not not just fast paced in the writing style, but fast to read through. I felt like it's definitely a page turner. Definitely you want to find out what's going on. Um, so all to get back to the plot. So we have the planet Carenza gets attacked by this company, Bitech, I think is how you say it, and the planet sends out a distress call. Battleship Alexander answers that distress call and comes and like tries to help fight the biotech and also take on refugees. And then we have two other spaceships, the Hypatia, that's how I said it, I don't know. And then I pronounced it Cornucopias, but then looking back on the book, I don't think that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. I think it's supposed to be pronounced Copernicus. Not really sure. So don't. I'm just gonna make it up in my head as I go along. So Alexander, like I said, is the battleship, and then we have Hypatia, which is a scientific vessel, and then Copernicus. Copernicus? I don't know. Whatever. It's a freighter. Freighter? I'm so bad with these sci-fi names. Whatever. So we have these three spaceships that we're following along, and Katie is on Hypatia. That's the ship she's on, and then Ezra is on Alexander, the battleship. And so all of the ships are have a lot more civilians than they're really prepared to help. So they're kind of conscripting the civilians into like a wartime. They're calling it a wartime battle. So a lot of the civilians get put onto like pilots on the Alexander. They get put into flight deck. They get put into programming like coding and stuff. So Ezra gets put as a pilot on Alexander, and Katie, I don't really know what she really gets put into, but she kind of becomes a coder and starts hacking all these files to figure out what is going on because there's not a lot of information getting sent to the civilians. And Katie's like, I need to know what's going on. I need to figure this out. So Katie basically becomes a hacker, which is really cool. So a lot of the information you're getting is stuff that she's hacking into the system to obtain. So that was really cool. I liked that aspect of it. Katie is super sarcastic, really funny. Um, she uses humor definitely as a defense mechanism because the people that did not get off the planet are basically you assume are dead. So Katie gets off with her mom, but Ezra's dad dies in the attack. And so this book is so emotional. Like, there's a lot of death, there's a lot of unknown, there's a lot of government secrets, I guess you could say, from the, like, captain of the ships, not telling people what's really going on. When the planet was initially attacked by biotech, they released a biochemical, and so some of the refugees have to figure out if that even is going to affect them, how it's affecting them, how is it going to outplay for the rest of the ships. The Alexander has an artificial intelligence on it that um, that does basically everything for it. I'm just going to say that it controls all of the like all the guns. It mans all of the shields. It tells people where to go, when to do what. So basically, why do people do this? Every time I read a story with an artificial intelligence, and then I just think, why? Why do you have artificial intelligence? It's gonna stab you in the back. It's gonna get some sort of feeling like, oh, I'm protecting you by doing this for the greater good, and it's really not the greater good. They're just going crazy. So you have the artificial intelligence to deal with. You have these ships to deal with. You have one of the Bitech ships survived and is chasing them, and that's called the Lincoln. So you really have four main ships in this book. The three that are trying to get away, and then the Lincoln that is the bad ship from Bitech. It's following them. It's also a battleship. So you got that to contend with. There's just a lot going on in this book. Super fast paced, super, super good. Like I said, I could not put this book down. I thought it was amazing. If you're like me, I literally waited. I saw this book like 3 years ago. I looked on my Goodreads account to see when I added it, and I added it 3 years ago to my Goodreads to be read list. But I have this weird thing where I hate reading a book in 2 days and then waiting for a year for the sequel to come out. So I just have stopped reading trilogies or series until the entire series is out. So I've waited 3 years to read this book, and I don't know why. But I do know why, because they're not really a cliffhanger, but it definitely leaves an opening at the end. So you're ready to jump into the next book. I am super excited to read the next book. But yeah, I waited 3 years. Obsidio finally came out, which is the third book, which is why I am now reading this now. So if you waited 3 years like I did, comment below and we can share in the struggles of waiting for series to come out, because I hate it. Yeah, but I loved this book. If you've read it yet, comment below and tell me what your favorite part of this book was. Did you like the transcripts and the different writing style that this book is set up in? Or do you kind of just want it to be more like a normal novel with normal dialogue and everything? Like I said, I clearly loved this book. I love the different writing style. I thought it was so intriguing, and I thought it was so well written. Yeah, so if you love this book, or if you haven't read it yet, but now you're intrigued, go read it, because it's a great book. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say on this, just because, like, I still don't even know how to describe it. I literally finished reading this book like 2 hours ago, and I loved it. I'm still, like, reeling from everything that happened. I'm just gonna tell you right now, I cried, I laughed, I gasped. I did not throw the book across the room, but I did walk away from the book a couple of times just because there's so much going on, and you really end up caring about the characters a lot, and you just want them to be happy and be okay and live a long, happy life. So yeah, um, yeah, it was an emotional wreck. It wrecked me, and I loved every minute of it. So if you want to feel the feels, go and read this book. It'll definitely give you all the feels. Tell me who your favorite character is. Yeah, I loved it. I don't know what else there is to say, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my videos, and I will see you later. Bye!